Well, the most useful thing is, well, first of all, my father is a carpenter. I didn't name the show that because of any religious reasons. And I know that there are pictures of me on the poster with angel wings on, but that's just me being a doctor. But what's the most useful thing? Still to this day, he taught me a lot of useful things, but being able to change a car tire is about as useful as it gets. Like that's when you man up. If a woman sees you changing a car tire, they're dead impressed with you, and it's a pretty simple thing to do. So, I've already taught my 13-year-old how to do that. He's also, he taught me a lot of different things. Most useless thing he ever taught me. Most useless thing my father ever taught me. Geez, he didn't teach me much stuff that was useless per se. I'm going to go with my love of sports. Is there anything more useless or time-consuming than watching sports? My whole life is the World Cup at the moment, and that was taught to me by my father. So I reckon I could be 3-4 times more successful if I just didn't spend 80% of my life thinking about sports. But everyone needs a hobby, right? They talk about nepotism. If either of my children, either of my boys wanted to be stand-up comedians, I would help them out as much as possible. It's such a weird thing. So my son had to give a speech for class president, and I helped him out with that. And he had some real zingers. And now that he's 13, living in LA, he's on the bar mitzvah circuit, and he's going around doing stand-up basically at different parties around town, under the guise of speeches. So hopefully I've taught them a little bit about stagecraft and performing and stuff like that. People always get into entertainers. If a plumber has got a truck that says Davidson and Sons, we go, oh, that's wonderful. That's a father-son operation. A law firm could be called Newton, and Newton, and we'd go, oh, it's a family business. How wonderful. But as soon as Johnny Depp's daughter gets on screen, we go, oh, these actors and their nepotism. What are we meant to teach them? I have no other life skills. I'm not going to teach him how to be a great accountant. I don't know how to tie a tie myself very well. I get it wrong 4 out of the 5 times. So hopefully I teach them a little bit how to maneuver their way around the entertainment business. What have I taught them? Stupid? Probably my love of fast food hasn't helped them out in any way. I'm the do as I say, not as I do, because I'm like drinking full fat Coke, telling them, don't put that rubbish in your body. You'll die if you eat that hamburger. And then every time my kids get in my car, there's like McDonald's wrappers and stuff like that are in the car. I never try to eat it in front of them. I always sort of hide it. It's my secret mistress is the drive-through. Funny's funny all around the world, but I think there's only one universal joke in the whole world. There's one universal joke that people who can't speak English laugh at, people who can speak English laugh at, people who have got dementia will laugh at this, and people who are only 6 or 7 months old will laugh at this, right? And that's farting. It's the only thing that we all laugh at. Sometimes when I'm halfway through a joke, if I feel one building up, I'll whip the microphone down to my bum and I'll rip one out. The audience always laughs. It's never, and that only happens 1 in 10 shows. If you've come to one of my shows and I've done that, that's you're welcome. But it truly is the only thing that everyone in the world finds funny, no matter the age, no matter the race, no matter the language barrier, no matter the intelligence level. Everyone finds that funny. There was so many routines that I always, every time I brought a special out, I thought that's the routine. I'm sure musicians get this. They think that's the single, but you don't choose what routine goes viral. The public does. So there was one about the divorce rates on my last special. They got like 20-something million hits that I thought was a throwaway comment, and then that became the big bit. And then I thought the gun control routine, which is probably my most popular bit. I thought that would do nothing because I thought it couldn't go viral because it was 14 minutes long. So the things that I thought were going to make me famous, I thought that, acting like a tough guy on stage, smoking cigarettes with a popped up leather collar and all this type of stuff was going to get me noticed. And I always thought clothes were going to be a thing that defined you. Like people would recognize you from your outfits. And now after all these years and all these different outfits, and, to be honest with you, the reason I was wearing leather jackets with no t-shirts underneath that were button-up leather jackets is because I idolized Eddie Murphy, and I really, if I had the guts, I would have been wearing that red leather jumpsuit myself. And now, after all these years of thinking that some different leather jacket would make me famous, I'm just wearing black t-shirts on stage. None of it ever mattered. Many years ago, I had a special that I was wearing a leather jacket on, and then Dr. Drew contacted me. He said, we're having a celebrity auction. We're auctioning off different things. They had a pair of Elton John shoes and all these different things, right? And so I donated the jacket from the special, and I autographed the inside of the jacket. You got a DVD of the jacket with me wearing the jacket, and that was all going to be auctioned off. And I became obsessed with this auction. I kept on watching it all the time. And then towards the end of the auction, the jacket was going for less than what I paid for it. So I bought it back myself. So I still own that jacket. So I still sometimes wear a leather jacket with my own autograph on the inside. There's a lot of opportunities that didn't happen and didn't change my career for the better. I've always wanted to do, more than anything, a multicam sitcom has been like, that's my the big whale that I never got was the multicam sitcom. And I had a multicam sitcom that was 6 days out from filming. It was cast. Anthony LaPaglia was playing my dad and all this type of stuff. And the sets were built on. I used to go down to the Universal lot each day to rehearse on set, and then I would eat my lunch on the stairs of the clock tower from Back to the Future as the tour buses went by. And I thought this was really every dream I've ever had in my life. And then 6 days out from filming, COVID happened. And we went into lockdown, and the network said to me, "Oh, we can make it in a couple of weeks, but we won't have a live audience." And I really wanted to act in front of a live audience. I've never acted in front of a live audience, and I said, "No, let's wait until this COVID thing blows over and film it then." And it never happened. But because of that, maybe life would have been completely different to what it is now. So while I was in COVID, I was already in love with my girlfriend, but I didn't realize that I wanted to spend every minute with her. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people in COVID got divorced, but me and my girlfriend, we got married because we had so much fun just sitting around the house. I never had that much fun. So maybe if I was working, I wouldn't have realized that, or I would have gone a different way or something like that. So without that disaster in my career, maybe I wouldn't have my second son and my beautiful wife. So things always work out how they're meant to work out, I'm sure. It just be authentic. I feel like it took me many years to be authentic, to be really me. I was always trying to be somebody else or trying to emulate another comedian that I admired. That I always thought I should be that person or that person, and then in the end, be authentic. The kid who made all the other kids laugh at school, that was the kid who wanted to do stand-up comedy. And now, even now, I have to remind myself that people come to see me because, there's so much self-hate and so much doubt in a person, in a performer, that I have to remember that this personality's got me a long way and to love myself a little bit. You know what I mean? So just be happy being you and be authentically you. And if you like you, there's a good chance other people will like you too.